Yo, and we are live.
No
Man,
doubt.
we're back in the saddle, man. It's another Monday, another big day for hip hop and sports, man. A lot going on out there in the hip hop and sports world, man. Man, I don't even know where to begin, bro. We got so much going on we want to dive into tonight, man. So before we get into that, man, how you doing out there tonight, brother?
Man, I'm good, man. Let me tell you. I got to tell y'all a quick story. I seen this. I was on the highway, so I couldn't take a video or picture or anything.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know what's going on, right? But I thought it was a funeral, right? You know what I mean? These limos coming through. Boy had a caddy joint. Boy had a Lincoln. Then a boy had a stretch Escalade, and a boy had a Phantom, right? Everybody 24s or 26s, right? I'm thinking it's a funeral at first, but I'm like, nah, these niggas just styling. You know what I'm saying? Just mobbing, you know what I mean? Mobbing down the highway. Like, it's like 5 of them. Everybody, everybody doing their thing. I was just like, I gotta salute that. Yeah. I'm like, yo, I gotta salute that, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was riding clean, but I never seen a funeral type of, you know what I mean, situation. I mean, it looked good, but I'm like, man, I thought it was a body in there somewhere. I wasn't sure. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, but they was clean though. Them boys was clean. So shout to the limo funeral crew. I'm with y'all. If y'all come back to the city, y'all mean for real, I'll let your boy. That's all I can say.
Man, I don't want to see anything like that, man. So you can have that's a little bit morbid for me. So you can have that, homie. Yeah. What else? How Philly looking, man? I know it's starting to get warm again. Heat is coming out.
It's nice day today. I'm quite sure. I was working, so I was in these streets, man. So I mean that was cool. But I was like, man, I was getting hit from all over. Like, yo, man, come through North. We barbecuing out here. Come down South Philly. We doing this and that. And everybody, I guess took a day off. They was like, man, I wasn't going to work after watching that Earth, Wind & Fire Osley Brother joint. That joint kept me up like 1 a.m. or something.
Yeah, man.
I called out right then. He like, man was just like, I called the answer machine at 1 a.m. Tell him I ain't coming in. I'm like, y'all crazy, man. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody was doing that, man. We're going to get that tonight too, but everybody was doing that. That joint went like to the wee hours in the morning, man.
It did, for real. That shit was crazy.
And I'm sure they have more to deliver, man. So, we're going to get into that tonight also in our deep dive discussion about the Earth, Wind & Fire joint. So, I can't wait, homie. Can't wait. So, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's go ahead and roll into the sports part of it first. So, a lot of news on the sports wire, man. One of the things that actually was bubbling up last week and flow into this morning was the KD situation. That KD situation with Michael Rappaport, man. I know you're not a big Michael Rappaport fan. KD got fined $50,000 for the social media exchange with the actor. Everybody who knows Michael Rappaport know that Michael Rappaport is a shit talker. He talks a lot. He's out there and he says some crazy things. But, at the end of the day, KD bit the bait and did what he had to do. So, man, what are your thoughts on that, man? Like,
what? Before I do that, I'm saying, let me take a drink real quick. I mean, for real, rock citrus.
Okay, hold on. This is the first. Mark, during the week, so this is the first, man.
Listen, man, I had to stay up all night, with verses, then go to work. You know what I'm saying? I need this drink right now. So, let me take a quick sip.
Yeah. I cannot believe it. Mark is in the A. Tell him what you're going to get tonight. Mark drink.
Yeah,
I'm hydrating because I didn't want to disrespect.
Right. I got you, man. I mean, it's rare, but I had to do it. I had to do it today. So, anyway, here's the thing. Michael Rappaport is a pure troll. You know what I mean? I'm like, he has nothing to offer the sports discussion. Even as a New York sports fan, he has nothing to offer in the discussion. All his opinions are baseless. They're all off the charts, right? But here's the thing, right? With Rappaport, he's a troll and KD's sensitive. Everybody knows Kevin Durant is a sensitive dude. If you say anything about him, you know what I'm saying? He gets upset and in his feelings. He has a burner account for crying out loud. Right. You know what I mean? The dude really has a burner account. He really does. Right. So he got in his feelings, and he's calling Rappaport all type of names and everything. And, of course, Rappaport being Rappaport, this guy screenshots the DM or whatever, like the snitch that he is. You know what I'm saying? And post it for everybody to see. right?
Right.
It's like, man, I mean, this guy is a pure troll, man. I'm just, I mean, but I don't like the way I hate off court KD. By the way, on court, I love KD, but off court, I wish he would just let this go. Like, yo, you are a peon troll, a small timer, a loser. Why would I pay any attention to you at all? But he did. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem.
He bit the bait, man. You can't. So we all know Michael Rappaport. He wants to be a comedian. He's a hype junkie. You know what I mean? He likes to get out there, troll people, get you riled up, and he plays a lot. I mean, even he had the interview this morning on Fox Sports with Skip and Shannon, and in the beginning you could tell he was playing around. He was trolling the whole time. He was acting like he was sad. You know, he said, "I can't go to the park." I sent you the link. You're like, "I can't go to the park because my dog." Like, and you could tell Shannon was kind of getting irritated. Skip was believing him. Skip was looking at him like, "Yo, what's really going on?" Like, "Yo, you really can't go to the park." And the whole time he was playing around, just trolling. You know what I mean? But he said that to say it went too far. Like KD making the comment, like, "I'm spitting in your face when I see you." And again, this is KD. I don't think KD really has no fight in him. He looks like he'll probably get beat up by the average guy, out there. But this is KD. This is the KD that we don't like because he's out there talking reckless to people on social media. And again, at the end of the day, I get it. You're a basketball player. You're a man first. I get that. But you got to turn that thing off because KD, he's not your average player. KD is regarded as being one of the best players. So, in the NBA, period. And he's going to be a Hall of Famer. But we're starting to talk about him and his actions on social media more so than we talk about his gameplay, which he hasn't played that much this year. And he got the facts on that,
I'm just like, KD, man. Listen, if you ain't that type of dude, you got somebody in the crew that is, right? And let them handle it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, back in the day when Eddie Murphy had to deal with trolls, he sent Charlie. You know what I'm saying? And Charlie, would beat the shit out of people or whatever he would do. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. Like, you know what? Can you handle that? You know what I mean? KD, for you to be going back and forth with this clown. And I'm like, man, and this dude really is a clown. I'm like, like, listen, you've been trying to catch on to something since Higher Learning, and we ain't even like you as Remy in Higher Learning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
we still not on Remy. Right.
I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just to let this go, whatever. And Rappaport, he trolls everybody. He came with Dan Lebertard, on ESPN. You know what I'm saying? He came in, a few of his producers. I'm just like, this is what this guy do. This is how he's making a living by being a troll. But why buy into it? That's the point. Why buy it, especially if you KD? Come on now.
If you KD, right. And that's the thing. Like, you gotta separate yourself. You KD, focus on the Brooklyn Nets because you gotta win this season. You gotta win the championship this season. I still think that they're not as great as that roster shows because you still got to get chemistry. You still got to get, you still got to show. You got to get into a rhythm of playing together, which they're not. By the time the playoffs come around, it might be too late. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you KD, focus on that because if you lose and you don't win the championship this year, you know what they're going to point to? They're going to point to all of these antics that you had leading up to this, and you allow Rappaport of all people, of all personalities, to take you there. It's not worth. It's not worth the hassle. It's not worth the fine. It's not worth the half-ass apology that he gave. It's more to that. You know what I mean? So I hope that this will be the last thing we hear about KD from a social media perspective. I'm sure it's not, but I hope this is the last time. And come back to the court, man. Prove that you are the best player in the league right now. Prove that as opposed to going back and forth with these guys out here in social media. Rappaport be the guy that he is.
Absolutely. Get out these social media streets. It ain't for you. Them streets ain't for you, homie.
It ain't for you. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, man, on more of a lighter situation, we had some March Madness over the weekend, man. Yeah. So, man, we're about to get set up for the championship game with Gonzaga and Baylor. I've had several people ask me today at the gym today, like, yo, who you think is going to win it? And 1 minute I'm saying Gonzaga, the next minute I'm saying Baylor. I'm going back and forth. What do you feel like, man?
This is a tough game. This is the game that mostly everybody was going to pick. These teams have been 1 and 2 all year. All year, so I'm just like, man, it's going to be interesting, right? Gonzaga has the better big men. Baylor as a unit has the better guards, right?
Yep.
I think guards win in the NCAA. I think, if you have the better collection of guards, you win. No disrespect to Jalen Suggs. We know he's a top 3 pick in the NBA draft coming up, right?
Yep.
He's one guy, but he's one guy, though. The other guards aren't nearly as good or as talented as him. I think if you can get Suggs out his groove, right, you could beat him. Because that can be beaten. It's just that Suggs, plays like a senior. He's only a freshman, but he does play like a senior. But if you could kind of get him out of rhythm a little bit, maybe a little bit of foul trouble, you might have a chance. And I mean, that Gonzaga offense is a well-oiled machine, but I think it goes as Suggs go.
Absolutely.
I think he's off a little bit, even though they haven't lost. It's been times where he's been out of rhythm where the games were closer. We just seen the UCLA game.
Right.
UCLA gave them a hell of a game.
Game. Absolutely.
But I'm just like, man, they had them tripping up a little bit. And UCLA was able to do their thing. Props to UCLA for giving them that type of game, because that was the best game I've seen.
Absolutely.
But this should be a great game. I'm gonna tell you, man. You know what? I'm gonna say like this. I think Suggs keeps it in control. I think the big men, go ahead and go to work for Gonzaga, and I think they win a close game. I think it's going to be another close game, but I think Gonzaga, could pull this out. I just don't see them, tripping up all of a sudden all the way at the end. I don't see it.
Man, I'm leaning towards Baylor. I'll be honest with you. I think Baylor, the athleticism on that team, I think is going to get the best of Gonzaga. Gonzaga has not played against an athletic team like Baylor that gets up and down the floor. And those boys are playing with a lot of confidence. They're playing with a lot of fight, and they're out there. I mean, the way they played the other night, man, it was like, I'm like, yo, these guys are pumped up. I mean, it was like that from the beginning to the end of the game.
They ran Houston off the court.
And it was, and Houston is a good team. So let's not get it twisted. Houston is a very good team. You know what I mean? So that wasn't an easy out, but they made it look easy. And the only good thing about Gonzaga is, and this is where UCLA messed up, you cannot turn the ball over with Gonzaga, because it's very rare that they're going to make bad possessions. They have a lot of missed possessions. UCLA probably had about 1 or 2 bad possessions, like 4 or 6 points for Gonzaga. And that was the turning point of the game, because at one point we were going back and forth. UCLA was matching everything back and forth. They made that one bad play, one bad turnover, one bad missed shot, and Gonzaga took the lead. And that from there, you start seeing Gonzaga play different, because they're showing their maturity level as a team, and they're showing how fundamentally sound they are as a team. Whereas UCLA was struggling to get those points. Gonzaga was coming out court during their set. They never panicked. They stayed cool, calm, and they were able to come through. I'm not a Gonzaga fan, but I respect the fact that every year that organization show you the same thing that they are. They are a well-oiled team. Once they run up against an athletic team, that's when they struggle, because teams are normally, if you're athletic, you're going to jump at those guys. And but so long that fundamental can overcome athleticism in a game like like a Final Four national game.
I'm gonna tell you, man. And people keep saying, oh, that was a lucky shot. No, it wasn't. Watch shot again. You know what I mean? For that hit at the end. Nope, he's in rhythm. You know what I mean? He had a clear line to the basket. Now he might not call bank on it, but that shot was dead on. That shot was ready to go.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He might have shot it a little bit too hard, and that's why it banked. But I think, if he didn't shoot it as hard, it would have went in. You know what I'm saying? It was going in regardless.
Absolutely. So, man, we'll see what happens. I got one Baylor.
One more thing to say.
Yeah.
The ladies' championship. You know what I mean? The
I got you.
All right, I got you.
I made some alterations. I got you.
Okay. I mean, for we gonna have to get to that. We gonna have to get to that.
Absolutely.
Okay, got you.
So, Killer Cam, man. Killer Cam was on drink counts, man. I'll tell you this. Cam has always been one of the funniest guys in the rap business, man. I felt like Cam has always been fearless. He's always been fearless. You go at Cam, he's gonna go back at you. He doesn't care what level of rap you are or who you are in rap. He's going to go back at your head. You gotta respect that. At one point, I hated Cam. I had despised Cam because he went too far. And he went too far in the battle. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, this guy's crazy. But you got to give Cam his pride. The interview that he had on Drink Champs, again, shout out, Nori, Left Rack City, Corona Queens. Nori is killing it, man. Like Nori is starting to really evolve as a host, because I remember a year ago, it was choppy. It was hard to go through Drink Champs because get drunk and high, whatever, and he would not allow the person who was there, his guest, to really, go off or do their thing, and talk about, their stories. But now he's letting the stories breathe. And Cam had a lot of great points in that interview, man. I wanted to message you earlier when I was listening to it because he was talking about Petey Crack. And they brought Petey Crack on live.
Yeah.
And Petey Crack told a story about how Jay heard Cam's verse on one of Petey Crack's songs.
Yeah. One for Petey Crack.
One for Petey Crack. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, take that off. Like, take Cam off. And Cam said that's when he knew there was a lot of tension in the rock, because at that time, Beans and those guys were kind of looking at him sideways, but him and Petey Crack was cool. And he said, he wanted to sign Petey Crack to Dipset, but that's like,
I mean, it's crazy because I think both of them had a point. Like, you can't have state property and then allow Petey to sign a Dipset, and he's from Philly. Like, I get that point, but it's just like, yo, y'all really didn't want to mess with Petey at first, right? And I can say like this, like, I don't understand why that they didn't want to mess with him part. I'm like, Petey was always nice. Like, even back in the day, like, you would hear like little stuff from him, even though like Philly's like a little segregated, right? So if you in a whole different part of town, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know the bull, but I done heard something from him because somebody from that part got it, down to somebody I know, and then I heard it. So I'm just like, Petey was nice. He just really didn't have a style, you know what I'm saying? But he was nice though. I mean, he picked it up, you know what I'm saying? And then, so I was a little surprised at that. I heard bits and parts of that story before, but I was a little surprised at that it's just kind of like, yo, y'all, why y'all want to jump on Petey because Cam, want to deal with him. You know what I'm saying? How come y'all ain't noticed that from before? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was kind of weak, but I'm like, Dame, Dame, you know what I mean? Dame, sometimes he's late to the party with stuff. I mean, this is the same guy who said he missed Nelly in Country Grammar and all that. We could have had them on the rock. And it really blew up to be Nelly. Like, so, sometimes Dame is on his ego being away and he's late to the party on some stuff. But the interview was great. Cam, I'm going to say, like, anytime Cam does an interview, you should watch it because you're going to get ready to laugh. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? A lot of his stories are hilarious, but they're all true, though. You know what I'm saying? They're all true. You can go back, because other people would jump on the interview and be like, yeah, oh, yeah, that happened just the way Cam said, So it's always a good time with Cam. I enjoyed Drink Champs interview. That was funny. You know what I'm saying? Right in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? He got the girl calling him and he puts her name 29C. Like, she didn't have a name, like just her room number. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, yo, so those boys are funny. But this is Cam. I mean, we all seen Paid in Full. You know what I mean? When he played Rico. And he's funny in that. He's just a funny guy.
He's a funny guy. Yeah, I think one of the things that stood out to me, man, he was talking about, his, when he was with Rivera and, working with Big and those guys. And he was saying how, he wrote the Crush on You joint for Lil C's. He wrote Lil C's verse. And he also wrote mad joints for, for P. Diddy, as well as the Harlem World team. Because remember, Harlem World came out with that joint. So Deaf. The album was garbage. The album was garbage. But he wrote a lot of those records for those rappers in that crew, in the Harlem World crew. And he's like, never got his just due because he thought that he was going to be able to get more money based on the writing credits, but Mason tried to give him the same amount that he was getting to rap. And that shows you how weird that the relationship that him and Mace had for a very long time. Even for him to say that everything he was doing on his album, they were comparing it to Big. I don't know what Big want to say that, because you got to keep in mind when he was recording his first album, Confessions of Fire. That was like right after Big's death. If I'm not mistaken, it was in that same timeline. So imagine you under the same crew or the same guidelines that Big was already establishing. And trying to create an album, they saying, well, Big wouldn't say it like that, or Big would do it this way or do it that way. So he said he liked Confessions of Fire, but it's not one of his favorites. And SDE is the same thing. The catalog he's after is that catalog that's on a rock, that's on Def Jam. That's the catalog that he's after. So I don't think we appreciate Cam enough, because we hear, the computers puting and boobity boop, and we hear that stuff, you know what I mean? Because it's whack. But Cam can actually spit. When he wants to spit, he can spit. And I don't think Dipset get enough credit for what they've done for New York back in the mid 2000s, like 2004, 2005, 2006. Dipset was everywhere. You know what I mean? They had a crazy movement.
I'm gonna say like this: he got people to wear pink, like, you know what I'm saying? The reason that pink is acceptable today, you know what I'm saying? Like actual whole pink shirts and all that acceptable today is because of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm trying to tell you, like, listen, back in the day, man, even if you had a pink polo horse on your shirt, that was a little stretch. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, I don't know how the block will feel about that. That was even a little stretch. You know what I mean? Yo, what you doing with the pink horse, Shawn? Like, oh man, I just came from my mama, great thing, so you know what I'm saying? That's why I got pink, ain't nothing big. Like, you actually had to explain that to niggas. Like, but now, but pink is actually acceptable for a guy to wear because of him. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty big, man. You know what I'm saying?
He made it fly. Yeah. So salute to that, man. Salute to that show. I thought it was a great interview. I thought that Cam held no punches. He explained his battles with Jade, Nas, as well as on 50. And it all made sense. Back then, it didn't make sense to me, because I was like, yo, man, it's kind of harsh. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Like, man, he's going in. His whole album, Killer Season, was about Jade. And he wasn't letting off. Like, he wasn't letting off, man. So you got to respect Cam, regardless of his lyrical content. You got to respect the fact that the guy is fearless. And he brought a lot to the game. Okay. So before we get into our pretty much, our other segments, our Fast Five segments, we have one more topic we wanted to hit before we get there. And that was the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I know we watched this over the weekend. Each episode, man, this episode 3 that we're going to just quickly hit. Man, this show is blowing me away, man. I thought the character that played Nemo, Baron Zemo, I told you this before, man. I thought that even in the movie, man, it was Age of Ultron. I thought that he had, Civil War. I thought that he had the best lines in Civil War, the best writing with Baron Zemo. Everything he was saying, this whole setup to me was the best actor in that movie during that time, and he showed it in this week's episode that he's a monster actor. My biggest takeaway from it was the fact that this show is starting to pick up and it's starting to evolve. And I love what Marvel is doing with the writing, and I love what they're doing with these characters. They're allowing the characters to redevelop in front of us. Although we know these characters, they're starting to redevelop in front of us. And I'm glad that they were able to get a high caliber actor, the guy who's playing Baron Zemo, to still come back and also don the Baron Zemo mask and actually get into full character of the Baron Zemo that we see in the comics. So what were your takeaway from the movie, man?
Man, I'm gonna try and tell. Well, you know what? I'm glad that you did make that slip up, because it's like you're watching the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, for a TV show to be done in this manner, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you thinking, well, this is just the TV show. I'm like, man, I can't wait till the movies come out. Like, that's how crazy it is. I'm gonna tell you, you know what's crazy? The girl, from the other side or whatever, from those super soldiers, she is fearless. She don't play no games. Cause even the was like, yo, you like we blowing it up? Yeah.
Right.
We blowing it's people inside. So
right.
so
yeah, what you want to do. Right.
You know, I mean that was crazy right there. This lady really has a real dark side to be so young.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that got me. And then when they went to find the scientist or whatever, the guy who had the lab,
yeah,
and he was like, yo, I was putting all this together, and then I just turned to dust, right? And I thought, like he ain't even know what happened. He was like, I was putting some stuff together, and then I just turned to dust. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like a Thanos reference, man. Listen, anytime it's a Thanos reference, I'm always
I'm all for it.
All day.
But Zemo shot dude, he was like, yo, this guy, he's the only one that can duplicate the actual serum, so he gotta go. It was like he heard enough. He was like, he got quiet. Yeah. He's like, I heard enough. Like,
I'm like, man, you know, because they like, yo, what'd you do? Like, nah. You know what I'm saying?
This ain't happening. Like, it's too much of a risk. He made the right decision because again, this guy's the only one that was able to find the formula and make it. So he offed them. My last point, the fact that they were able to tie into, you know, the Black Panther movie.
Oh yeah, I like
very end. I thought that was genius because we forget that Bucky was in Wakanda the entire time, getting himself right, and you know they helped him out during that time. So for them to reference back to really, who I think she's the second in command for the Dorje Malaj, for her to come there at the last portion, I thought to me that was like a great tie-in to keep you on the edge because you know there's a trickle-down effect to that now. Because keep in mind, Zemo still killed King T'Chaka. At the end of the day, still killed King T'Chaka. And he had to pay for that. You know what I mean? Black Panther allowed him to ride. So, you know, he rests on his own soul. But now he's back. So I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. You know, every show, every episode has been like a pickup from the last. And I think we only got 3 more episodes left. We're at the halfway mark. So, man, I can't wait, bro. Can't wait.
Yeah, man. It's been good. It's been really good, man.
Indeed. So, man, let's get into this Fast 5.
Okay.
The first one, your boy AI.
Yeah.
Me and the boy AI got more in common. I'm just kidding. Yo, so AI, it was an actual post that came out. They said AI was the worst MVP since 2000. Man, I'm surprised that came out, man. What are your thoughts on that? Being around the AI whole situation.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? First thing, I'm gonna say this: Bleacher Report is trash, right? Y'all opinions are trash. They're usually trash all the time, especially when it's about AI, right? Because you know, Iverson is a guy who did what he wanted. He played like he wanted, and that was that. But I'm like, that guy never quit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, listen, even when he was injured, he just played. You know, I'm like, you show me any other superstar, you know what I'm saying, or MVP since, you know what I'm saying? You know, maybe Kobe, you know what I mean? Because Kobe would drag himself out there, you know, no matter what's broken too. But I'm just like, outside of him, I mean, who else just kept playing? I'm gonna play injured or whatever, you know. Right. For him to be the worst MVP, I'm just saying like this, right? No disrespect to the Sixers organization or that team that made the run to the finals, right? But without Iverson, you know what I'm saying? That team is in the lottery.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm like,
absolutely.
I'm gonna say like this: you take any MVP, you know what I mean, for that won it since Iverson in 2000, you put them on that Sixers team, they don't go to the finals. I don't care who you're talking about.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Steve Nash. You know what I'm saying? All them other. No, they ain't going to the finals.
Not
I would say maybe Kobe, maybe Tim Duncan, but don't tell me about Kevin Durant. Don't tell me about LeBron James. No way.
No
way possible.
No Aaron McKee. No.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, man, you know, and they get on Iverson about this practice thing, right?
Facts. They might not go to the playoffs. Facts.
I'm gonna share something with you. This guy did not practice. He just didn't do what Larry Brown wanted him to do all the time, right?
Right.
All right. I mean, for all you're supposed to practice with the team. Iverson would practice right over at Gustine Rec Center. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, he did his shot. Like Iverson would go party, right? And literally be like, yo, let's go to the gym. I was there, so I know. You know what I'm saying? Literally would go to the gym, get shots up, run drills. Yo, set these cones up like this. We gonna do this and that. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't practice how Larry Brown wanted him to practice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm just like, I know it's like a running joke, and it's the memes and the statement and all of that. But that's just to say the man ain't practice. That's just not true. Yeah. You can ask anybody in Philly. You know what I'm saying? Because Iverson was never hard to find. He's not even hard to find when he come back to Philly. You know where he at. You know what I'm saying? That stuff is just not true, man. And the worst MVP, Bleacher Report, y'all are trash for that. You know what I'm saying? This is why I only try to just get my news from y'all, and that's it. I don't want none of your opinion pieces because all y'all are trash, not on Iverson, but on multiple things.
Right. It's clickbait. You know, we know what the value of AI is clickbait. That year that he actually won the MVP, you can't put anyone else on that team and really think that they will get that far. Hell, they may be you say they're a lottery team. They may not make it to the playoffs, especially during that year when you had some juggernauts coming out the East during that time. AI single-handedly carried that team. So, that's what it is. The next piece we want to get into, man, the record-breaking movie so far during the COVID pandemic era, man.
Right.
Yo,
man.
Godzilla, man, versus Kong.
I'm trying to tell you, you know what, Shawn? I'm like, man, it seemed like everybody's seen this thing but me. I did not have a chance to watch it, but my nephew said this thing, was action. Like Uncle Marc, I would have went to see this in the movies. That's how good it was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm just like, man, that good? And they were just like, they liked it. You know what I mean? Because of the action. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, when it's an action movie, you're not looking for, oh man, there's some great Al Pacino, Robert De Niro level acting. You know what I'm saying? You're looking for, we need action and we need it now. That is exactly why you watch an action movie. You cannot judge an action movie like a drama or a romantic comedy or some bullshit like that. You know what I mean? You got to judge it on the action. You know what I'm saying? And they said that had a lot of it, so I got to check it out. But Shawn, I'm going to come to you. What are your thoughts on this movie?
I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to go into details. I think it was a solid movie. I would give it probably 2.5 out of 4.
Okay.
I think that look, we've always wanted to see Godzilla versus Kong. Even, after the whole weird looking stuff back in the 60s when it came out, when it just looked weird. I was watching them joints, like the clips of the joints over the weekend. I'm like, what is this? Like, this shit is ugly. Like the whole time Kong mouth was wide open, the whole time you can tell it's so fake. It was horrible. But to me, it was a really solid movie. I'm not gonna go overboard and say that the story was the greatest in the world. Personally, I would wish that the story was a little bit more, I guess, more robust, if that's a good way of saying it.
So the writing could have been better? You know what I mean? For a storyline to get it?
Right. It could have been a little bit better. I think it was very predictable, but maybe it have to be predictable. You know what I mean? Maybe it have to be predictable based on the fact that we knew what was going to happen. We knew they were going to clash. We knew they're going to become teammates or what have you. But if you really want to enjoy a good movie, from the comforts of your own home, if you want to just go to the movie theater just to get out the house for a little while, this is definitely a movie I would recommend. I'm glad the way they handled it with regards to the fighting and the setup. I'm a Godzilla fan. If you watch Godzilla King of Monsters, to me, I thought that was one of the best, if not the best, Godzilla movie because he went nuclear. I think I sent you I was watching it. I sent you, matter of fact, last year, I sent you I sent you the message. I said, yo, Zilla just went thermonuclear on this guy. He turned fully red and destroyed him. So I really enjoyed it. Again, I would not say if you're looking for a movie. I know Kyle. This is not a movie for Kyle Benson. Kyle, I
don't even know if Kyle likes action movies. Like, you have to actually be like an Oscar level actor. You know what I mean?
Kyle watches like the
drama. He don't like, for real, the action and the comedy stuff. That ain't him, man. You know what I'm saying? That ain't him. I can just tell it ain't him. Like, man, that ain't him.
Kyle is definitely more of the Notebook guy. You got to have a good story. Maybe 50 Shades of 50 Shades Free.
Great, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Kyle is more.
That's stuff that win Oscars, you know.
Yeah, Kyle Benson loved 50 Shades, so this is not 50 Shades, Kyle. So you would not enjoy Godzilla versus Kong. But anyhow, it's a good movie. It's a really good. The other piece, man, more drama with the Shawn Watson. I mean, this story is starting to get all over the place, man.
Yeah, it really is. I'm thinking like, okay, they're gonna, they have what they have. And they're gonna
do. Marc, take this. I got someone trying to get on. Nate on, so I'm gonna give him the link. So take it from here, bro.
All right. So here's the thing, with the Shawn Watson, right? We're thinking, everything was kind of done. You know what I'm saying? Where like, all right, he has the accusers. You're supposed to set it up. With the you give your evidence. You got the lawyer. He got the accusers. They supposed to set it up. Give all the evidence over to the cops. But this clown lawyer, Busby, right? He don't want to release the evidence to the cops, talking about, oh yeah, well, I ran for mayor and I lost. He's still bitter about losing the mayoral race from last year, talking about, they're going to be biased against that. I'm like, isn't it about the women who supposedly went through this ordeal with the person they're accusing? How come you're not fighting for them? It just seems like the guy has a whole nother agenda, you know what I'm saying? And he's not trying to prove anything for these women. He's just trying to get himself more publicity, right? And to get, a higher settlement for these women. It's not about no criminal charges. It ain't about no case. And to me, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans, actually put this guy in play, just because he said he didn't want to play for the Texans. I think if Deshaun Watson never came out and said, I ain't playing for y'all, I don't even know if this story even happens.
Facts. I'm hearing these stories. I'm seeing everything, popping up. And it's to the point right now where like, enough is enough. Like, if you're not going to call this guy to the stand, if you're not going to go to trial for this, you're not going to do anything, then, figure out what's going on so this thing can be behind everybody involved, whether it's the victims, whether it's Deshaun, whoever is involved, because it's not, the more this thing continue to grow, the worse it gets. Because you're hearing different sides. You hear like another 20 people saying, nah, he was good. 20 more saying, nah, this guy was a dirtbag. Like, he was doing this and he was doing that.
Right.
Again, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to keep on moving. But my thing is this. You got over, I think it's about 20 plus now, or 40 plus total body of masseuse that he's been with. Like, fam, why you got that many masseuse in? Like, you got everybody in Houston right now and more. So just, that's a question within itself, and that's a problem within itself. Yeah. So again, man, I hope this situation can come to a head and they figure out what they're going to do. Either they're going to take it to trial, but the NFL is going to be pressured to make a move because this thing is starting to grow too many legs. And again, this guy is one of the faces of the NFL, and he's been deemed as one of the good guys of the NFL, the face of the NFL. And the NFL, they're very strict; they don't play around. So let's see what happens from here. I hope if the brother is not guilty, I hope they figure this thing out and do the right thing. But if he's guilty, get him.
I'm gonna say like this, man. That lawyer, he's shady, and I just don't like what he's doing. He definitely has an agenda, and we're going to wait to see. But he's a piece of shit, and that's all. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Absolutely. So our next one for the Fast Five, man. I don't even want to post this, man, because I'm not interested at all. I'm not even going to front. Space Jam 2. I really don't want to see no Space Jam 2, man. I saw a little bit of the actual trailer, and I was like, man, get this thing up out of here, man. I don't want to see no LeBron James for an hour and a half to 2 hours in Space Jam Part 2. I don't want to see it, man. I'm not excited.
Has your daughter seen the trailer for Space Jam 2? You know what I'm saying? I just wonder if dad has to watch that movie. I'm just trying to find out.
That's the beauty of it. I don't, because I showed my daughter I showed him the phone and said, yo, what you think about this? And she saw the first Space Jam. Okay. And she was like, yo, that's not Jordan. I'm like, you're right, it's not Jordan. And that was my answer. You know what I mean? Like, that was my answer. So, you know, she's not interested. I'm not interested. So we're not watching that. Like, not in this household. I know my Wiz ain't interested. I'm sure. I hope she's not, because we're not watching that show. I'm have to make a executive order in the house. Like, yo.
Executive order.
Yeah.
But I do want to ask, right? Because they shared a scene out of the movie where it recreated the same picture where, I mean, LeBron dunks and Dwayne Wade, you know what I mean, has his hands out. Is, you know, was that, you know, like, look, dude, like, we already seen this, you know what I mean? This is cliche, or, you know what I mean? Just what was your thoughts on that particular scene?
That what got me heated, because I was like, yo, come on, that's too cliche. Then you have to go with the what is Babs Bunny?
Yeah.
Female. Why it had to be Babs Bunny?
Are you taking a shot to Dwayne Wade on the low? I mean, right. What are you doing?
Right. And he tagged D. I saw on the Twitter, he tagged D Wade. You know what I mean? Like, yo, look what I did for you. Like, we don't care. Like, honestly, we do not. It got to the point, Mark, I was so pissed, because then they did this on Twitter, did this meme. They had LeBron's 5 versus Jordan's 5 of the Monstars, right? Because, you know, Jordan had Ewing, had Larry Johnson, Muggsy Bogues, and Shawn Bradley, I believe, right? And LeBron, he stacked his team. He got KD, he got Draymond. How you going to stack the Monstars? Like, yo, man, get that show, man, get that movie out of here. I want to see that. I know Kyle don't want to see that. If Kyle comment and say that he wanted to see Space Jam 2, yo, somebody get Kyle up out of here too if he wants to see it.
I think if you paid Kyle to actually see this movie, he would refuse your money and give it back to you. Like, I don't see him ever, you know, just actually watching this movie. I don't see it.
Oh, no one want to see LeBron turn into a cartoon character and all this, like, because you know what's going to happen? His crazy fans are going to be like, yo, he's the GOAT because Space Jam 2 was better than Space Jam 1. Oh, man, Space Jam 1 had Bill Murray in it. For crying out loud. Come on, man. His fan base is going to say that. They're going to say Space Jam 2 was better than Space Jam 1. So now LeBron is the GOAT. It's going to happen, man. So, look, I don't have no desire to watch it. Mark, I know you have to, because you got the little one.
Yes, yeah. I actually...
You kind of stuck with that, so I will lean on you for that episode. We do that
when it comes out.
Even if I don't see, I'm gonna trash it. I'm gonna trash it ahead of time. Like, yo, this shit was garbage. So I'm not looking forward to that, man.
Right.
So our last Fast Five, man. Your boy, Paul Pierce, man. So when we first talked about this, we were talking about the actual situation itself. Right. But then there was a development right before the show kicked off where I told you Saturday, I said, man, I think Paul Pierce is going to lose his job.
Yeah.
And sure enough, ESPN and Paul Pierce has decided to part ways. Right. So with that said, man, what do you think this is you think this is the right decision from ESPN?
Oh, absolutely, it's the right decision. You know, I'm gonna say like this. If Paul Pierce was just on camera with the women,
epic fail, absolutely.
He would have been fine if he was just on with the women, right? But then he's smoking weed, right? I'm like, you're an analyst for like the top show on ESPN, or you know, the top NBA show, right?
Right.
I'm like, you cannot do that. I'm like, you know, seriously. And Stacks asked this question. You know, I mean, you too, Shawn. Y'all both asked this question like, yo, dude, you're not 20 years old anymore. But I'm just like, you know what? When you're goofy as shit at 20, right? Most likely you're going to be goofy as shit at 40. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the goofiness doesn't wear off. If you're like a goofy dude at 20, you don't magically turn that around.
No,
you know,
not at all.
It just doesn't happen. And I'm just like, I'm like, dude, what are you thinking? What are you doing? You know? Right. So, I mean, it was a bad look for him. Now, you know what I'm saying? He's not there anymore. I'm just like, man, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That this is happening to him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, and then he went on IG, like, you know, like, yo, look what I'm doing. I'm like, what are you, like 13? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, you're grown. You're supposed to have been done this over and over and over again. I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's like, to me, when I seen the video, it looked like it's looking like his first time that this is happening. Like, dude, you still get excited about this? I'm like, that's supposed to be natural. You've been in the league for years. That's supposed to be natural. You
multi-millionaire. You making these bad decisions. You got a good gig with ESPN as an analyst. And don't forget, ESPN is owned by who? Disney.
Right.
What is Disney? Mickey Mouse. You can't do this stuff. You got the optics, man. You out here smoking weed. You got strippers in the back. You on IG. I read something and they say he accidentally hit the IG live feed, and that's what happens when you're an older guy, when you're older person, period. Understand technology of today.
I'm gonna say this, right? You know, and this is be something, you know, that we usually talk on Wednesday, but I'm gonna say it on Monday. You can't do anything about corny. If you're corny, that's just who you are. It don't matter how much money you got. No. You still corny. Like, and he did corny shit in his 20s.
Right.
He's doing corny shit now. I'm like, I don't even need to talk about the story with the made men and what happened in Boston with Ben's crew.
Yeah, we got
all know the story. You know what I'm saying? He was corny then. He's corny now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, he just did some more corny shit.
Right. Come on, Truth. And Kyle made a point. He probably wanted out because I think he posted shortly after that, like, more stuff is coming or something like that. And he was smiling in IG again. Like, come on.
What are you going to be on the show with Gilbert Arenas? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Hold up. All right.
I was getting a call from Nate. He's trying to get in.
Okay.
My bad.
I'm
back.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. But like I said, you know what I mean? Corny is corny, man. It's nothing you can do about that. You know, seriously. We've all seen it before. Don't matter if you got bread. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? You know, you still corny. You can't change that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no amount of money that can ever change that. You know what I'm saying? So this is what it is, man. You know, we're going to see what the new gig is. But if he ends up on Gilbert Arenas' show with the porn star, that's a downgrade. That's not an upgrade. So we got to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? We going to see. We going to see what happens, you know, with old Paul Pierce, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just kind of just shaking my head on the whole situation. I'm like, it's bad, man. It's definitely bad. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely bad, man. But I'm like, man, you know, crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, he ain't the first, and he ain't gonna be the last person either. I'm just like, man, you know, you see what happened to Chris Carter, T.O., the list goes on, you know, guys who get fired from TV jobs and things of that nature. The list goes on and on and on and on. So it happens, but we're gonna have to see, you know, what comes of it and what he does. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to see.
Yo, my bad, fam. I didn't mean to leave you out there like that. Technical stuff just hit me across the head. So my apologies, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Lil Mello, watch yourself, boy.
Yeah. No, don't watch yourself. Go Mello. You only live once. YOLO. Go at it. Do what you do, man. For real. So the last piece before we get into, I got Nate backstage right now. Yeah, so we still have our man, sit your ass down the water. So I gotta throw this one at you, man, because you and I was talking about this, man. And every week we do the man sit your ass down award. And we had to give it to one of Stack's favorite rappers, Young Jock. So Young Jock went on Instagram and posted a picture of him getting a beard. And they had to paint the beard on, and I think they gave him like the implants. And I remember when this happened, Tina was on the page, and she was like, "Yo, Jock look nice right now. He looking real spicy with that new beard on." So we all was like, "Yo, he looks like an idiot with that beard popping out there." And I know Stats were like, "Yo, I need to get that on my face right now." So, yo, you want to do the honors, man, because I think it's overdue, man. Go ahead and give him the honors, man.
You know, man, sit your ass down with that damn big ass beard. You know what? You know I feel bad for Jock. Jock actually used to be cool. You know what I'm saying? It's going down, and I know you see it. I mean, that first
album. Top 500 rappers.
Like, yo, I mean, first album was pretty good. You know what I mean? He had Bad Boy with him. He had Diddy and Block Entertainment and all that. And then he went downhill after that. You know what I mean? This guy, you know, he's wearing, you know, he got his hair done, you know what I mean? Like a female. Yeah, he wearing wigs. You know what I mean? This guy, you know what I mean? He's like a fake Uber driver on top of that. I'm just like, and now he has a fake beard. Like, dude, like, seriously, what are you doing?
Right.
Just stop, man.
Stop, man. Just relax, man. So,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I know that's one of your favorite rappers of all time, man. But we had to get that guy, man. One more time, we want to show everybody, any guys out there that's trying to get the bid. Hey, if you want it, you can have it. All right, you can see it's lined up perfectly. You know, they can get out here looking spicy with that beard on. So yo, fellas, it's out there. Go ahead and get you. So man. So
you know, ladies, you know, if y'all like the fake beards, you know, hey, you know what I'm saying? Go for it. Go for what you know.
Absolutely. So Mark, I want to throw it back to you, man, because we're trying to get our homeboy Nate on real quick because we want to give a deep dive into the Earth, Wind, and Fire versus Isley Brothers. So before we get into that, I want to make sure we do this thing the right way. So I do want to throw the salutes to you so you can salute to those that we have out there. We got Grant Hill, we got Roy Williams, we got Hubert Davis, we got Natalia Bryant, and we also got the salute to the women's national basketball team. So I'm gonna hop off real quick to get Nate on. So can you take everybody through the salutes?
I got you. You know what I'm saying? I got you on that, man. First thing, we're going to salute Natalia Bryant. That is Kobe Bryant's daughter. She got into USC. She was very excited. USC is a prestigious school, you know, and she got in on scholarship. So, you know, we're happy about that. You know, so I'm just like, man, we go to Grant Hill. Grant Hill is now the managing director of the, you know, USA national basketball team. It was Jared Colangelo who owned the Phoenix Suns for a long time. And now it's Grant Hill. Grant Hill, you know, great person, you know, a guy, you know, understands the game. He's been around the game, obviously played. That's the one guy who I wish stayed healthy. I think he could have did a lot of damage in the league. Because those first couple years with the Pistons, he was really, really, really good. So, you know, salute to him. You know what? Let me give a salute to the big three. Ice Cube's basketball league. They're actually going to play, you know, the season's going to start in July, I think, but they're going to play games at Xavier University in Louisiana. That's a historic HBCU. So we're proud of, you know, him on that. And, you know, salute to Ice Cube, you know, for actually holding his league there, you know. So, I mean, we're feeling that, you know, and there's a few others, you know what I'm saying? Let me just get to the list real quick for y'all. If y'all give me 1 second, let me get to this list for y'all real quick, you know. I gotta look this up, you know what I'm saying? Bear with me.
Got Roy Williams.
Yeah, Roy Williams, man. You know what I'm saying? Roy Williams. I'm like, man, this is one of the legendary coach. Legendary. He won at Kansas, then he won at UNC, you know, one of the favorite sons of North Carolina, 903 wins all time. He's in the Hall of Fame. And he won championships recently. So I'm just like, man, you know, he's great. We wish him well. Hubert Davis is stepping into his spot, you know, to be the coach. We're going to see how he does, but he's been on that UNC bench for almost 10 years now. He left TV. He left a good career in TV, you know, the coach or whatever, and now he's the head man, you know, at UNC. I know people were thinking about Jerry Stackhouse, maybe possibly getting a call, whatever. But I'm quite sure, you know, he will get the support for all the UNC alum. And Hubert Davis, reach out to Rasheed Wallace. He's there in North Carolina, you know. I'm just like, man, have him come in and, you know, talk to those folks, talk to those kids or whatever, and how to be a great big man. So we're going to see what's going on with that, man. But that was, you know, that's excellent. Stanford won the national championship. Let me actually walk y'all through this real quickly. Number one, congratulations to Stanford. But you know what though? It's more that Arizona lost the championship than Stanford won it. This girl McDonald, who's the best player on Arizona, she had 3 open people, and she didn't find anything. She didn't find any of those girls, open for the shot. I'm just like, that was a little crazy to me. I'm just like, man, listen. And the thing is, she had the girl cutting for a layup, right? And she took a bad shot, and that's what lost them the game. I feel bad for her, but I'm just like, listen, sometimes, you got to look for your teammates. I understand you're the best player on the team, but sometimes you got to look for your teammates. And if you have one of your teammates cutting to the basket, you got to make that play. That's really what happened with that. But congrats to Stanford. This is the first time they won it, I believe, since like 92. So congrats to them. But Arizona, hopefully this is a lesson for them. They'll learn from it. And hopefully they're back, trying to compete for a title next year. But, great season for them. Just a bad play at the end.
Absolutely.
Just a bad play at the end. And I would tell that girl McDonald, she's left-hand dominant. And guess what? In basketball, you need both hands. You know what I mean? So work on that right hand. You know what I mean? For real. Listen. You know what I mean? For Miss McDonald, work on that right hand. If you work on that right hand, you'll be just as deadly as you are with the left, and you'll come back twice as better. So I'm just like, man, continue to work. Don't hang your head on this. I know it's tough right now, but get in that gym and go to work. That's the best cure for any time you're down. You know what I mean? About basketball. You always got a ball, and you always got the gym or court outside, and you can get to work. So go ahead and get to work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, man, as we start to get our homie on, we having some issues backstage. He's trying to get on right now. I'm going to go ahead and tee it up, man.
Yeah.
Last night, we had an epic versus. It was a versus that I know you and I talked about behind the scenes.
Yes,
we didn't realize it was going to be this type of versus. We thought it was going to be one of those situations where it's just going to be solid, we good, and that's that. But I know we had a lot of conversation around not just the magnitude of this versus, but if it's going to be a compatible versus. Because one thing about versus that we can all agree to is that every verse is not compatible. You got to make sure that you have not just the right type of artist, but you have to have the right compatibility within those artists. And one of the things that we saw last night, we realized that Earth, Wind & Fire and the Isley Brothers gave us that. They gave us everything that we needed. And I feel like this was one of the better battles from a versus perspective. But it was more so a battle that we can appreciate. So I'm going to kick it to you, man. Kind of give us your run through and your thoughts of the battle itself, just to kind of tee us up.
I'm gonna say like this battle, we didn't deserve it. I'm gonna say that's how good it was. We as fans didn't deserve it. This is the music that a lot of our moms, dads, grandmoms grew up on and played for us when we were kids. They played it, and we were just kind of background soaking it in. So when you listen to a lot of the groups that came out in our era, right? They sampled from these groups heavy. I'm just like, man, when you heard those songs last night, you could point out all the songs that from R&B and rap, that used that used all these samples. So I mean, the battle was crazy. I thought it was going to be, getting to the battle though. I thought Earth, Wind & Fire, was going to start to run away with it. And that's not what happened. The Isley Brothers kept it close. I thought, Earth, Wind & Fire pulled away at the end. You know what I'm saying? I thought Earth, Wind & Fire pulled away at the end, but the battle was certainly a lot closer, than I thought it would. I had it 14-11 EWF.
Wow.
It was a great battle, man. I mean, when those songs came on, I'm just like, man, it just took you somewhere, where it's just like, man, this is some good stuff right here, man. And I'm gonna say like this, right? Before I get it over to Nate, I'm gonna say like this. For the guys, and we hear this on our Wednesday show all the time. Man, these guys today don't have no game and they don't know how to talk to women. I'm like, fellas, if this is you, you need to watch that versus battle and you need to watch it all week. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? If you listen to them songs, maybe you might learn something. That's all I'm gonna say with that.
Indeed. So we got our homie Nate Allen, man, fresh out of Philly, man. What it do, Nate?
Yo, what's going on, man? How y'all doing?
Man, good. You paused on us for a second, bro. Hold on for 1 second. Technology is crazy, man. So give me 1 second, fam.
Okay.
Let me get them back in.
Yeah, definitely, man. But I'm like, man, it's like you knew every song. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even the songs you didn't know, you knew them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even the ones you're like, wait a minute, I don't know if I heard that. And then you hear the sample from somewhere on some record that you know. And you're like, oh, that's that record. Like, that's how crazy this battle was. I enjoyed every minute of this battle. I mean, this was, I ain't gonna say every minute. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, Steve Harvey, listen, stop interrupting me for the stars.
Man. You got chill, man. Got chill.
Sit back in the cut. You know what I'm saying? You don't got the.
Man.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Chill, man.
You call him D Nice. I wasn't feeling that. You call him D Nice. Don't just call him Nice. His name is D Nice, homie. I thought he told you that in the song years ago. I thought he told you that. Call me D Nice. Don't call me Nice. I thought he said that before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Well, he was on a little bit, so
Yeah. I feel you.
Yo, Stacks, if you out there, can you help us out with the technical? There you go.
Yeah, it does. All right, Nate.
Nate, can you see us? You good, Nate?
All right, Nate. Can we got Nate? Can we hear him?
Yeah, we're having some issues right now, technical issues.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if we can hear him.
We can't hear him.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean? We're gonna work that out, Stack. You know what I'm saying? You can, you know what I mean, bro, try to help us out on that end. I'll say like this, man. I'm like, it was some key moments in that battle, which I loved, right? I'm trying to tell you, one of my favorite moments, though, I'm gonna say like this. But first thing, let me give props to Philip Bailey from Earth, Wind, and Fire. He still got it. I mean, that boy still can hit them notes. I'm like, Philip Bailey, you know what I mean? Props to him, right? But I'm going to tell you, when Osley Brothers, they came on, they played that Choosy Lover, right? I'm like, man, listen. I'm like, that was my shit right there. You know what I'm saying? They played that. Timbaland jumped in the comments and was like, yeah, that's the record that inspired the Aaliyah 1 in a Million record. I wanted to sample that. I wanted to do that record. He just spoke about that in the comments, which was really cool, to see that he spoke about that record, because I that's one of my favorite Osley Brothers records, obviously. Between the Sheets, you know what I'm saying? We got that. But Earth,
that's a classic film, bro.
Yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire. It seemed like, they were going, Osley's and Earth, Wind, and Fire were going strong, but when that second half came on, Earth, Wind, and Fire just kind of kicked it up into another gear and then just kind of separated themselves a little bit, and that's what I think happened. And I'm going to tell you, the one moment that I loved, though, when they played that Denise Williams record. Come on, man. That's a cheat.
I didn't know it was Earth, Wind, and Fire record, bro.
That is a super cheat code. That was just like an unfair cheat code. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's like, y'all mean, for if you showing up at the playground, y'all mean you got a prime Michael Jordan with you, y'all mean, yeah, we playing 2-on-2. That's just cheating right there. Call it what it is. That's cheating.
I think, I know Nate was commenting last night. I know Nate was in like Love Land when he was hearing them joints. I'm gonna be honest, fellas. Like, for me, I thought that, I know Nate, we talked about this in the chat one time before about Earth, Wind, and Fire is just different. You're talking about it, an entire opus versus a respectable group in Isley Brothers who are more. It's more personal when they're Isley Brothers because you're thinking about intimacy. When you're thinking of Isley Brothers, you're thinking about an intimate setting. Lights low between the sheets. You know what I mean? Let me just a little bit. When you're looking at Earth, Wind, and Fire, you're talking about an event. This is like an opus. You're talking about harmonizing, showmanship. You're talking about every check every crazy. It's just different, right? Because you check every box if you think about music, there's a box, there's like a list, right? Of things you got to check off, harmonizing, bebopping, you know what I mean? Everything. They check off every single thing. And the Isley Brothers, you got Ron, right? You got Ron Isley, you got, look, great musicians. Ernie was playing the hell out that guitar last night.
Yeah,
right?
Man. That Summer Breeze joint, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But I think what we saw last night, and again, I'm gonna let Nate talk. Nate was going crazy last night. Nate was like, I saw Nate was commenting up until like 1 a.m. about this joint.
That joint was, man, that joint was on for a good 4 hours. They could have kept going. They still left joints out. They could have kept going on that joint, man.
Easy.
They could have kept going. Me personally, I don't know. Again, I felt that Isley Brothers done very well. My personal winner was Isley Brothers. I felt they edged that's my personal feel, just because they played so many records that we got a lot of samples from. You know what I mean? Like we got a lot of hip hop samples from, and I felt like they showed you that they were so heavily influenced in just the hip hop and R&B culture of the 80s and the 90s and even the present. Whereas Earth, Wind, and Fire, it's almost like, you can sample this, but do you really want to sample this? Because it is so it's so pristine, you can't really touch it. You know what I mean? Because you can't really do much about it. You know what I mean? Like you can't really pull strings from it.
You might be scared to touch it. Like, oh, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, even when you gotta do it right.
Yeah.
When they start, because people would sample Earth, Wind, and Fire and it didn't sound right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because not many people, if you notice, not many artists sample Earth, Wind, and Fire. Not many. I know Sons of Man sample Shining Star. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't like that song. I love Sons of Man. I thought that it was okay, but it wasn't like one of those things where if you're gonna sample them, you gotta take it to you gotta either keep it on that same level or take it to a different level, because you're dealing with EWF. You're dealing with that. Mm-hmm. So you got to know what you're dealing with. You're dealing with Regal here. You're not dealing with just your drive-by, artist or band. You're not dealing with the SOS band. You're dealing with EWF. So, I mean, you got to treat it with care. You got to treat it with care. So Nate, what did this battle do for you, man, as a fan?
Man, I mean, it was just a huge moment for the culture, man.
Facts.
Like, I was putting all my youngers on, my young boys on, man, because you got to expose them to this. I mean, the age demographic that we're in, you don't want me to old head and be like, yo, today's music is trash, and not have a reason. Otherwise, you sound like a hater. You know what I mean?
Right.
So what you do is like, this is all right, but let me put you on this. You know what I mean? And once you get past the get out of here, old head, and they start listening to it, then it's like, oh, this is all right, it's dope. You know what I mean? Just like how we came up. I mean, we all the same age. You know how it was. You in a car, you want to hear it. You know what I mean? I want to hear Power 99. I'm trying to hear some Jay-Z. I'm trying to hear some Snoop Dogg. I'm trying to hear Big. But, you in the car with your parents, like, nah, you get your own car and you listen to it. Until then, we listen to this here. You know what I mean? And you hating because you don't like it. But eventually, after a couple of years, you start to like it. Like I'm doing it. Like I'm doing my daughter now, my godson, all stuff. Because it's incredible, timeless music. I was thinking about it, like I was going crazy in the comments, crazy on social media, but it's like both of those artists are at the. This is stuff that we know, but them songs came out before we was born. I was born in '81. Right. That stuff was coming out in the '60s and '70s. You know what I mean? And it's still 2021, and I still know all the words, soul, and joints. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's timeless music, right? And it's just.
I'm sorry,
you know what I mean? It's crucial to serve as a kind of like a bridge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I was saying, you want to complain about how the music has, there's no real music. There's no good. You know what I mean? There's no good music anymore. It's all commercial. It's all pop. It's all easily digestible, instant gratification, like microwave music.
Right.
But you got to put people on to something better. You know what I mean? And old heads and my parents, that's for me, and we have to do our part in doing that for the next generation. Otherwise, the music will be lost. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna keep it real. A lot of people was in my inbox text me today, like, "Yo, I didn't know they was like that." It's like, nah, you didn't know they was like that. But Ozzy Brothers and Earth, Wind, and Fire are like that.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that is, regardless of genre, rock, whatever, whatever genre you want to talk about, Ozzy Brothers and Earth, Wind, and Fire are among the best bands, period. Not R&B, not soul, period. I put Earth, Wind, and Fire against the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, any of those guys. You know what I mean? Anybody. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like Stevie Wonder's another guy like that. And they got to get Stevie on one of these, but there's no way you can't go against Stevie. Stevie would have to go against himself. But like, I put Stevie against anybody. I put Stevie Wonder up against Beethoven. Like, that's the kind of level that Stevie Wonder's on. And we need to think of our artists in that way. Like, it's not pigeonholing and put them in like the black music or the soul music box. Like, they're legendary artists, period. Like, they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame too, not just the R&B Hall of Fame.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to give these guys these legendary props. And that's why I was so glad that we were able to do that and collectively celebrate these guys, to give them their flowers while they can smell them as a culture. You know what I mean? It's about Ron Isley, 79 years old. You know what I mean? Main man up there 80 with his chinchilla on, his cane, his gold chain, you know what I mean? Up there singing. You know what I mean? Stuff he's been singing for 40 years. And that's legendary to me. And we, as a culture, we need to do that more often. You know what I mean? That was my opinion on it. Like, and I'll say this, and I'll get off this, but it's like, it was so dope that nobody even cares who won. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see nobody talk about, such and such won, who lost. We all won. You know what I mean? Because that was just like, that was just an unprecedented, like, surreal experience to do that.
Absolutely.
It was incredible. It was incredible. I'm probably gonna watch it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like this, man. And let me warn, the fellas, right? Don't take your wife around Ron Isley. It's just not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
Man. The thirst was real last night, man. I was like, yo, leave that old head alone, man. He was busting your aunties down. He gonna bust y'all down too. Y'all got chill.
Yo, I saw comments, man. Ladies were like, "Yo, Ron looking like a zaddy right now." You know what I mean?
I know, right? They was gonna risk it all. They was gonna risk it all, man.
Yo, they were going nuts when they saw Ron come out there in that chinchilla, man. With he took the joint off and had that stiff looking suit on. That joint probably cost about a good 20 grand, 50 grand. You know what I mean? But,
man. Got dudes out here about to dye their hair gray. Yeah, I mean, they gonna dye black, they gonna dye their hair gray. Yeah, I mean, dye their beard gray and all that.
I think Ron had got the reverse joint what Young Jock got. I think he got like let me get the gray, this gray spray on.
Oh man,
Ron, no disrespect to the legend, but Ron never had a beard. You know what I mean?
No, he never did.
No, he let that grow in. He let that grow in. That's pandemic beard.
Pandemic beard.
That's pandemic beard. You can tell he got his teeth and everything. I always be like, yo, did Ron get some work done? I said, yeah, I'm sure he got some work done specifically for this joint. Let y'all know that Ron is still alive here. You know, of course, he's a fly. Ron is a fly guy. He always been like that. You know what I mean? Even back in the days, he looked at weird, but he always kept himself fly. So I mean, one thing about what Ron mentioned, he said, that they were talking about their first album came out in '59. And I was like, damn, like, that's generations, man. Like,
right.
And Steve Harvey, I think we should have gave Steve Harvey the Man Sit Your Ass Down award, because Steve Harvey almost made the battle about him. The first half of the battle.
Yeah, when they went to halftime, whatever, they told him to chill. Like, you fall back, bro. Fall back, man.
Yeah. He came back right in the second half.
Yeah. I think right. You story for everything, man. Chill out. We want to try to hear your stories, bro.
Right, absolutely.
Social media is brutal. I think he read those comments in the back, because he did come back out and say they had a chance to read the comments. I think he read the comments, and people are like, "Yo, you need to sit down, man. You and your mustache need to take a chill out." You know what I mean? Because you got when you say Steve Harvey, you got to say Steve Harvey and his mustache. They're two different things. You know what I mean? So I think that when he came back out the second half, he just relaxed, enjoy the show like we all enjoy the show, and let those guys get into that bag. Do y'all think? Because I saw a comment. My man Cal said, EWF versus Parliament Funkadelic. I think and I want to speak on this. I'm going to pass it to you guys. I think if you're talking about EWF versus Parliament from a musical perspective, yes. But when you're talking about the deepness and the richness of their music, it's a wash. I don't think Parliament can even hold a candle to EWF when you're talking about the richness of the music. Parliament was about, let's have fun, let's get it, we're going to get it funky in here. It was funkadelic, you know what I mean? It's like, we're going to have fun in here tonight, we're going to blow the roof off this mother. Whereas you're talking about EWF, again, it's just levels to this. You're talking about uplifting, you're talking about empowerment, you're talking about just, it makes you feel like you want to stand up straight and be like, yo, while they're singing the whole time, you want to be like this the whole time, because it just brings out that black excellence in you when you're listening to EWF.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to say like this, with this battle, it was kind of like every time they got up to do a record,
facts, God.
You know what I'm saying? When a record came on, you're just like, yo, that's my jump. Like, I mean, to do that for 25 to like, well, 50 times. You know what I'm saying? To do that 50 times for the night, that's nuts. I mean, it's not a record that either one of the bands did that I did not hear. Like, I heard them all. And even if you just like, I'm not familiar with the record, you're familiar with the sample. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Oh, what you call it? What you call it, man? What you call it, that record? I think New Edition had that joint. Like, yo, that's how crazy that is.
Right.
That's how crazy that is.
Because the instruments,
they got that record from this group.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Marc, the back then was so key. If you think about some of the great bands, and if you look at the Isley Brothers, they showed a clip of I think it was Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix was playing guitar for the Isley Brothers starting out. Think about this.
It's all connected, man.
The great Jimi Hendrix, the guy who played a broken guitar, and you would never thought that the guitar was broken, and he hit every note with a broken guitar. Right. This is the Jimi Hendrix I'm talking about. And he played for the Isley Brothers when he first came out, and he was still not as good as Ernie, because Ernie learned a lot from Jimmy, and Jimmy learned a lot from Ernie, but Ernie was still that guy. So you got to think about the level of musicianship that these guys have. You know what I'm saying?
And can we give our props to Ernie? Can we give our props to Ernie? Lord.
Yeah, man.
Guitar.
Yeah, Ernie his do-rag. Give props to that do-rag.
That's a fact, man.
Yeah.
You gotta get out of Ernie.
Yeah. These are cultural icons. Just again, these guys went from 8:30ish to 12:30 or 1 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of people went to work tired today, man.
Yeah,
they were watching that joke.
A lot of people like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They called out verses. I caught that verses. I can't come to where I caught that verses.
Yeah, they didn't catch the wrong. They caught the verses.
Yeah, right.
They were given a lesson to not just R&B, but they were given a lesson to all music. Like, this is what musicianship looks like. This is how it should feel. This is how it should make you feel. When that first instrument come on, when that first key hit, and it resonates with you without a word being spoken or without that next note being played, you're showing the
exactly what it was.
Right. When you hear it, when you first hear In Between the Sheets come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, it resonates automatically. Music today doesn't have that because it's microwave music. You know what I mean? They go in there, they put a couple of things together, and I'm not shitting on the producers of today or the music of today. I'm just saying it's different. Back then, when you go to the studio, you went to the studio with your instruments. Everybody had an instrument, which was like their weapon. You know what I mean? And they mastered that instrument, and they had to come to the table and make sure the instrument blended well with everyone else's instrument. And they had to rock out and make music, and it came from heart. It wasn't about record sales. It wasn't about politics. It was about, yo, we're going to make music, and we're going to write music with purpose, and we want music to make you feel a certain way, because that was our outlet back then. You got to think about the 59, 69, 79. That era of music was very important to us, because the things that we were going through, you're talking about the civil rights movement, where music was formulated to help us get through those hard times during the civil rights movement. So music back then, they had to take it serious because it meant something. It wasn't just, I'm going to put this record just because. It was with purpose. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. And I'm gonna tell you, man, one thing that I heard in those songs when they were being played, all of those songs, especially then, they had like a breakdown, right? Like, so they play it and then boom, they break it down, they switch the beat up, right? You know what I'm saying? And you see that with some rappers too. You know what I mean? Where I think Drake, you know what I mean, actually incorporated that in his sound, where he'll break it down. Big Shawn did it too, you know. And I'm just like, I wish more artists would do that. Where it's like, yo, you know what? We got through this. We're gonna break this down. We're gonna go here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, we're gonna give you a different feel, but you still gonna be vibing to it. And I'm like, both EWF, Osley Brothers have records that did that repeatedly. You know what I mean? It just feel good music, man. It's just like, yo. But when you hear the song and then you hear it again, you like waiting for that breakdown. Like, all right, give me that breakdown. I know it's coming. I need it right now. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you was just hype about it, man. So like I said, this battle was so good. We didn't deserve this. As fans, we didn't deserve it, but I'm glad we got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Like, I'm like, listen, if this was coming on tonight again, you know what I'm saying? I'll be staying up again. I will probably watch that battle again. You know what I'm saying? It was just that good to me.
Facts. So Nate, just to kind of, you know, put a bow on top of this one, what do you think it's going to take for Versus to not just top this one, but how can they compete with this one in some regard?
I don't know if they can, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. Like, that was crazy,
man.
Like, both of those, the versatility, the skill, the longevity. Just, if you were to tell me 25 songs, and it could have been 30. Like I said, it could have been 30. It probably could have been 35. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. And it was no misses, no. Yeah, and it just kept going higher and higher and higher. Like, I was commenting on yesterday. If the fact that they had a battle and they were 3.5, 4 hours in before they even played Fantasy. What?
Yeah. Like,
you've been watching for 3 hours and, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, forget Ali Frazier's 12 round. This is like 30 rounds. You know what I mean?
Right. It was they really had more to go. And I think, to your point, you know, the thing about Versus, and I know we gave Versus a hard time when we first heard about the Triller move. I don't think this could have happened under the old flag of Versus, right? Because you think about the optics around it. You know, they did this the right way. They had D Nice to come in and DJ. No better DJ at this time to do that but D Nice. I don't think no one would ever put this off but D Nice. I got what they were going with adding Steve Harvey. I understood that because Steve Harvey,
because
that's the man. They got history. He championed Earth, Wind & Fire and Osley Brothers since inception, since he started doing comedy, right? So you kind of got to have him there. I still think that he kind of went overboard. He started acting a little.
He used that music in the Kings of Comedy jump. So you know, you kind of like
you got to have him there, right? I think that he into a fanboy, which is hard to do. So I'm not gonna
lie. I've been doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Because if you're using the presence of legends like that, you want to know. You know what I mean? Because that's how good the music was. That's why he was so nostalgic about when he went to that girl house, or when this happened, when that happened. Because even 30 years later, like that memory stuck. And then he hears it, and it's almost like that's how great it is. It's like almost like hearing it for the first time.
And I'm gonna tell you, you know what? I mean, he wants these legends just to hear his story. I feel him on that. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean,
yeah, right.
Somebody and you think they're you going like, yo, hey, this is what happened to me. You know what I mean? With your music, like you want them to hear the story. I mean, they might not think nothing. I gotta tell them this story. I gotta tell them.
Yeah, right.
Right.
That was his girl house between the sheets on. And, yeah, I mean, and y'all did the work. And, yeah, I mean, I just let it play, and I did the rest after that. Yeah, I mean,
right. Yeah. And that's my Wiz had shared something with me. Someone said last night when they were saying that, you know, EWF was for uplifting, whereas Isley Brothers was for it was for, you know, just being sensual. You know what I mean? The sexual appeal to it. Even with Ron going into his bag, his R. Kelly bag. Some of the joints that R. Kelly wrote for him, and some of those hits.
When he was Mr. Big, yeah.
And I told Marc last week, I said, Marc, he got to go into that bag because that bag is so important. I know people didn't want to, you know, they don't want to support.
Yeah.
Want to support Kells, but I thought that if anybody can do it and not getting it flat for it, it's Ron Isley. It's Mr. Isley. Anybody can do it. No one else can do that. So I would encourage anyone else to go into an R. Kelly bag if they have an R. Kelly.
Don't do it. Not at all.
Fat Joe, don't do it. Don't do it, Fat Joe.
Right. If you Joe, if you Cassidy, don't do it. Don't do it. But Mr. Ron,
Jay, you know, Jay, you don't talk about that album no more. You know that album don't even exist.
You know, Jay can't play that. Sorry, Stacks, but Jay can't play Best of Both Worlds 1 or 2. For one, they're garbage, but you can't play.
No, not at all, bro.
I'm not going to hold you on that, but you know, they're both the garbage. Best of both worlds. Yo,
man. Chill out, man. Chill out.
My bad, mate. My bad. But you can't do that. So Mr. Ron Isley is the only one that can go into that Kelly bag and sing it from a Mr. Biggs, because Mr. Biggs, don't get it twisted. Back in the 90s, Mr. Big had a resurgence. Ron Isley had a resurgence under the moniker of Mr. Big, and he cranked out a lot of classics during that time. So he did the right thing by going into that. I think what this done for all of us, and we're gonna wrap this thing up, but I think what this done for all of us as fans, as those who love music. We all love music. You and the three of us had a conversation about, I want to say about a year and a half ago, when we were just talking one night, and our palms never met, but we had like a 3-hour conversation one night just about music. Remember that? Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
This was like about a year and a half. We had like almost she was on the phone like 3 hours, man, just talking about music. Yeah. I think what this done for us last night, as those who love music, it showed us that Black people are excellent, man. We different, man. Like Stacks be saying, like, yo, we built different. We built different, man. And I like what you said earlier, Nate, that you don't want to put us in a box, right? Because you could put EWF up against Rolling Stones. You can put them up against Aerosmith, Kids, whoever. And this is not a black
with anybody.
This is not a cultural thing versus cultural thing, or black against white. We're just talking about music in general. You can put them up against any of those greats that are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame right now. And they are greats. Beatles, they are greats. But you can put EWF against any of them, and they will probably smoke them, to be quite honest. And it probably won't even be that. It probably won't be that close. If they had the opportunity to get their settings set up for their band to rock out, it wouldn't be close. It wouldn't even be close. And I think
I put Earth, Wind & Fire against any band. I mean, there are other great bands that aren't as famous as EWF, but
any band.
EWF is right up there. Like, right up there with Parliament, right up there with Tower of Power and Sly and the Family Stone and all those great bands. Absolutely. Ohio Players, too many, all of them.
Any of them.
Earth, Wind & Fire is probably better than all of them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you think about the range of musicians that has come through our genre of music, the Gap Band, you know, even going to the old Cameo. My pops was telling me that last night. He like, don't forget Cameo, the old Cameo, not the new Cameo, y'all know, with the cup. I'm talking about the old Cameo with shake hands. You know, he loved that shake hands. He loved that song. So and he was telling me that last night. You know?
Big
influence. Absolutely, man. So fellas, yo, I enjoyed it last night. I know you guys did. We had to bring our boy Nate on to get his thoughts and sights on what that's about. I think the next verse is on 420. That's the one Fred and Meth. That should be a good one. I don't think it's going to be. It should be a good one.
It should be a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to get that brotherly feel, much like Ray and Ghost.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And we enjoyed that because they are brothers. So I think you're going to get that same feel, and hopefully these guys, you know, just bring the energy. You know what I'm saying? If they bring the energy, I think it'd be great.
It'll be a monster. It'll be a monster.
It's gonna be good.
I don't know if it's going to top, you know, what we had the last 2 weeks. I mean, the last two verses with Ray and Ghost, because I thought Ray and Ghost to me was my best hip hop one that they had so far, and now Earth, Wind and Fire, now replace the R&B side of it.
I'm gonna say like this: the ladies from Escape and SWV, please start working on your stuff now. Please. I know it will not touch, you know what I mean, this last verses, but we wanted to be respectable. That's all I'm gonna say. We wanted to at least be respectable.
Yeah, I don't think ain't nothing topping this one.
Nah.
I don't think there's a way you can top this one.
You know that there's a rematch one coming up. There's whispering about if this is gonna be the Teddy Riley and Babyface joint. Now, there's one group I can tell y'all it may not top EWF and Osley Brothers, but there's one that can possibly give it a run, and that's if Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis jump into the fray. If you get Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis against, I don't know who will go up against them. Teddy Riley can probably compete a little bit, but if you get Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis in that catalog that they have, they can go by themselves. Honestly, I mean, let's keep it a buck. They can go by themselves. You get Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis against anybody.
I don't know if I want to see a rematch of Babyface Teddy Riley.
I don't want to see that neither, Mark.
Coffin.
Yeah.
That's where, and we're going to leave it there. I mean, hey, listen, I love Teddy Riley. I love the New Jack Swing stuff, but Babyface just tore him apart. Yeah. And I don't know if I see a part 2 of that.
Nah.
Even if he do a better job, I don't know if I need to see it.
No, I would rather see probably Babyface and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Jimmy has a different catalog. He's different. Babyface is unicorn. You know, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, those guys are unicorns. You don't see them every day. So if anybody that can possibly give them a run for their money, let me see Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Now you're talking. When you get that group, when you get those guys, those those artists and those geniuses up there on that screen of verses, they can do a solo joint and kill it by themselves, just because of the magnitude of artists that they actually work with. So let's see what Swizz and Timbo can do for that.
Okay.
All right. So fellas, it's been a great evening. I love it when we get a chance to connect. Mark, you know what it is. Nate,
no doubt.
Hop on this with us, man. We talk sports, hip hop. We in our wheelhouse, man. So you're more than welcome anytime to hop on, brother. We tried to get you on for the past several months now. It took fire to bring you out.
Yeah, happening, man. My bad. I got y'all though.
Think something big, you know what I mean? We got to get him on something big.
We got to get him something big.
We can't get him on nothing average.
Right. Now, we are toying with this idea about, last week we did the top female list that was published by Hip Hop Riot, but we are in talks with some of our partners to do one for R&B, where we are actually do our own listing of R&B, and we're going to ask others to participate. So that's possibly coming out the pipeline really soon. So there's more to come on that. So we'll definitely tag you and those out there who want to get involved. We're going to do a little battle. Y'all going to go up against myself and Mark, and we're going to put together our top 5 R&B artists of all time. So that's coming out. It's tough.
That's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough, but that's what some of our partners who are
top 5 dead or alive. That's what you're doing.
Top 5 dead or alive. R&B on B side. We're gonna have to work on that one because there's a lot of hands for me involved in that one. A lot of our partners that's reaching out to us and that's supporting us and helping us out. Shout out to those. But that's coming out of the pipeline too. We're working on that. That's gonna be the next step. We're gonna start creating a list of the best R&B artists, top 5 dead or alive. It's gonna be crazy, it's gonna be bananas. So we definitely would love to get you involved, Nate, because we got some. We're gonna be going up against some heavy hitters that's going to want to challenge us in our list. We're gonna have to definitely put together a solid list. So be prepared for that, homie. You'll get the note on that as well. Shout out to Spotify. Shout out to YouTube. Shout out to Facebook Live. Shout out to Blackjack TV channel 199. Yo, Blackjack TV is doing it big right now. We're making a lot of headways right now. Tonight was a new experience with Blackjack TV as we have gone. We're all over the place now. We syndicated. We everywhere. All right. Shout out to Bobby, team over there. Shout out to my man Danny. Shout out to all of the shows on the Blackjack TV network. We're on YouTube now. Be looking out for those tags. Be looking out for all of our imprints on Blackjack. And we got a lot coming at y'all. We got a lot. I mean, we just started, man. This is like phase 1 right now. We're not even out. We're not even finished with phase 1. We are in the middle of phase 1. So we got a lot more coming. Keep eyes open for that R&B hit. You heard it here first tonight. There's gonna be more information coming out about that. So we got a lot of stuff on the way. You know, Marc is ready. I'm ready. We'll battle anybody when it comes to this music thing, any genre. We got Nate is Nate is the red button. Anytime we have to push the red, George Bush the button.
We call it the whole cheat code.
Yeah, Nate is that cheat code. So I'm throwing it out.
I'm definitely with it, man.
Yeah, don't think you can back us in the corner because I'm gonna hit the cheat code right there.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna hit you with the old Nintendo joint, up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get 35. Don't worry about that.
So
I got you, man.
So please, everybody out there who's watching and listening, if you're rewatching tonight, get a chance to circle back to the show. Keep eyes open on our Twitter, on our Instagram, and on our Facebook page as well, because we're going to post that really soon. It's going to be the R&B challenge. You're going to go up against the 3 guys you see here tonight. We got a lot of stuff coming up, guys, so just be prepared for that. Fellas, thank you all for the night, and I salute you both. Philly is definitely in the house, so salute you guys both. All right. So Nate, get back to babysitting, man.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to my niece, yo.
Yeah, she coming up though. She stayed up late last night. She was cranky today. I was like, nah, you said you gonna watch this. Each one teach one. You know what I mean?
Each one teach one.
Right.
Please like our Facebook page. Please like our YouTube page. Like, share, do all that good stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't take nothing but a second to like and take a second to subscribe. So please do that for us tonight. And thank you all again for tuning in. Peace, brothers.
All right, yo.
All right, fellas.